Welcome to Biz Alchemy, a podcast about creating a new business paradigm by women, for women. I'm your alchemical host, Jacquelyn, and I'm going to take you on an extraordinary adventure to create a business filled with ease, fun, spaciousness, and abundance. Hustle, be gone. Let's birth a new way. Welcome back and welcome into the year of twos. So thrilled to be back with you. I'm actually almost like a little, not nervous, but I've got butterflies. I'm excited. I'm excited to share with you again because all this time away from speaking what's been coming through me, it's all dammed up in me and I need to release it. So I am so glad I have the opportunity to speak with you again. I got my mic out. There were cobwebs around the base, so I know it's been a while. That tells me I've had a good break. I feel very joyful today and it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous summer's day here and the cicadas are singing. My neighbor's singing, so you might get a bit of background noise coming in there. I've been to the beach and had a beautiful walk and swim, and I'm really appreciating it because actually we've had some very unsettled weather since Christmas time and I haven't had an opportunity to go and laze on the beach as much as I like. I might have still got a walk in and a swim, but the water hasn't been as nice as it usually is, and today was perfect. So I'm bringing you this very beautiful, calm, joyful summer energy in today's podcast. My heart is really full. I had a beautiful break. My children were all here. It's the first time in 2 years I've been with all three of my children. I should say four really, because my son's girlfriend is very much part of the family now. For my son and his girlfriend to be able to get up here from Melbourne, they've had 3 trips cancelled in the last 2 years, so they were finally able to get up here. I got my youngest daughter, we managed to get her back from New Zealand, and we were all here. And my heart was so full that even as I talk about it now, I can just feel the fullness of it, just having all my beautiful joylings around me. And we spent a lot of time at the beach, and actually it was so wonderful because I would often have a quick swim and then come back and sit on the beach and they'd all be there playing in the water, body surfing. You know, they're 19, 21 and 24 now. And so they're all there. And I was just taken straight back to childhood. Same beach where I would sit there for hours just watching my kids play in the water. And so here we are, 10, 15 years later, and they're still doing the same thing. My mama's heart was really filled with joy and happiness and presence. We really had a wonderful time of presence. So speaking about the beach is the perfect segue into what I'd love to chat with you about today. I actually feel like there is so much I want to chat with you about. I've got to be careful because I'll end up doing 5 podcast episodes worth in this one, but I'm going to bring it right back. And I want to chat with you about the beach philosophy. If you listened to the first 7 episodes of the podcast, I went through the beach philosophy then. And I thought it's a perfect time to recap because we're at the beginning of a year. I've titled this episode 2022, the year of, because very often we set an intention for the year, a word or a phrase of what we really want to embody in our life and perhaps also in our business in the year. I thought this is the perfect time to remind you of what is in the beach philosophy, of what this acronym of the beach stands for, so that you can set up your business and maybe revisit a couple of things that aren't working for you, but set up your business in the way that will support your intention for the year or your intention for how you're starting the year. I think it's important to acknowledge that our intention can change. Just because we pick a word or a phrase, we don't have to hang on to that for 365 days. It's what's right for you right now. And as you evolve and your business evolve, that can change. So I'm just giving you permission right now to allow for change if it comes knocking at the door. This is a part of the new business paradigm. Oh my God, this is just so uplifting for me to be able to speak my thoughts. Over the holidays, now and again, I'd have an idea, and I had a little page in my notebook, the last page of my notebook. It was just perfect timing to fill it up for the year. And I just had put the title Holiday Inspiration, and I jotted down things there as it came through. But what I realized is that I speak things into being. Very often when I come up with the idea of a topic, or even for a course or for one of my retreats, I don't have the content. I just know the overall energy of it. And as I show up for that course or that retreat, I speak it into being. It comes through me in this way. And it's the same when I'm doing sessions. When I'm reading a client's energy body or the business's energy body, and I see a visual and I start to talk about the visual, I speak it into being. That's almost like where my alchemy is. And that's why so much of my inspiration comes as I'm talking with you, as I'm talking with my group, as I'm talking on my Insight Timer lives. So, back to the beach philosophy. See, I'm so excited. I have so much to share. I don't know where to start. Let's start with B, shall we? So the B in the beach philosophy is about your business. Before you really get too much into this year, maybe you're still on holidays, connect with your business. Remember to spend time sitting with the energy of your business. And it may be that in the forming of your intention for the year, finding your word or your phrase for the year, if that's what is important to you, that you sit in the energy of your business to do that. Do my Meet Your Business visualization or my shorter Connect with Your Business, the daily connection with your business. Because just doing that, sitting down, connecting with your business, feeling its energy through your hands in the way I guide you in my meditations, asking your business about its intention for the year, about your direction for the year, and seeing what comes to you. Connect with your business and receive its wisdom. And how can you set this up for the year? Is this something you would like to do daily? Even if it's just 2 minutes, checking in. What's important today? What's my focus? What do I need to let go of today? Whatever it is. Or would you prefer just to do it once a week, maybe at the beginning of the week, or perhaps at the end of the week, or perhaps both? How can you incorporate connection with your business into what you do this year, into your business routine, if you like, this year? Now, if you want a little bit of guidance, my daily Connect with Your Business meditation is in episode 27. So you can revisit that and just remind yourself of how to do that little technique. Now, moving on to the E in the beach philosophy, which is about bringing ease into your business or making business effortless. Oh my gosh, if you can really make this a priority for your business this year, you will be amazed at how much flow comes to you, how much abundance comes to you, how much harmony there is in your life. This was a priority for me last year, and I did create an ease-filled business. It was really important to me. I eliminated all the shoulds. I eliminated all the rules, except for my rules. It was like my business, my way. That was it. So as you think about your business this year, as you think about your intention for your business this year, how can you allow ease into that process? What must be released? And maybe when you set that intention, you will realize that there are a whole lot of things sitting between your intention and an effortless business or an ease-filled business, things that are blocking up that connection and that may need to be let go of so that your intention can be embodied in an effortless way. Now, I'm not going to dive too deeply into this. As I said, I've covered this in the earliest episodes of the podcast, but because I haven't connected back in much with the beach philosophy, and yet that is the foundation of why I created this podcast, this is why I just want to go through it now as a refresher. But if you want to hear more, please go back and listen to those episodes. And now for the A. Well, the A is a big one. There were too many A words. Attraction, authenticity, and abundance. Would you like that in your business this year? in many ways, actually, I probably should say the authenticity first. The authenticity comes first. Being true to you, being the true expression of who you are, not hiding any parts of yourself, even though that may be scary. But your authenticity determines your vibration. The more authentic you are, the truer your frequency of vibration is. The more pure your frequency of vibration is. And that then affects who you attract in. Because if you know anything about the law of attraction, it's like attracts like. The vibration you put out there to your audience determines the vibration of people who respond to your message, to what you're sharing, to your energy. And this is one of the keys to abundance. Abundance is energy flowing through you. We always have access to abundance, but the more aligned we are with our truth, the more that our frequency of vibration is aligned with that truth, that changes our attraction energy, that brings in the abundance, regardless of what that abundance is. It could be an abundance of love, an abundance of clients, an abundance of support, an abundance of money, an abundance of time. But it's like these 3 A's are very linked, and they are of paramount importance to creating a really soul-aligned business that is operating, if you like, in a new paradigm, a new way of being in the world. Authenticity, attraction, and abundance. And now let's go to the C in the beach philosophy. The C is one of my favorite things, and it's what I am doing with you right now. The C is connection. And when it comes to the marketing aspect of your business, if you have embodied your authentic self, if you are really in that attraction energy, then connection is the next part of that. And marketing is connection. That's what it is. It should be just called connection. It's actually about connecting. It's connecting heart to heart. It's connecting at an energetic vibration with those who really resonate with you and with what you have to share. I was going to say connecting with like-minded souls, but it's more like resonant souls. When your tribe feels a connection with you, you don't have to sell. You're sharing. You're sharing who you are. You're sharing your gifts. And if they are resonant and they are requiring those gifts in that moment, then they will be attracted to you. It's as simple as that. And actually, another C word that came up for me here around the beach philosophy, and it ties in with connection, but it is community. This is a very sacral chakra energy, but ensuring that you have a community around you that you feel connected with, that you feel inspired by, that you feel stretched by. They're allowing you to open to newness, to new ways of being, to new ways of doing things. They're supporting you to expand into more of who you are and more of what your business's potential is. This community is so important. And actually, before I came on here, I was thinking about my community, Biz Alchemy Playground. And even though it is my community and I'm giving and they're receiving, in theory, of course, that's not how it works. I receive so much from my community. And in actual fact, in many ways, I'm not looking for another community as a participant to support me, because I actually get so much support from my own community. And I'm sure those of you who have your own communities will find exactly the same thing. We are growing together. We are expanding together. We stimulate each other. We challenge each other. But this is a part of our growth and our expansion. And I've missed you and coming here and recording my podcast each week, I have really missed my community as well. So connection, yes, a very important part of embodying a new business paradigm, but finding the right community for you is also vital. And also be aware that that may change because you're going to keep growing and expanding, and your business is going to keep expanding, and that can mean that you outgrow your community. That's not probably the right term, is it? But it's just your vibration changes. So then you ask the universe, bring me the community of the right vibration for me. Okay, so let's get into the H. I talked a lot about this, particularly in the latter part of last year. The H is the harmony. And the harmony is between the yin and the yang. And as you will have heard me talk about so many times, and really I talk about it in my podcast intro, business is based on the yang energy. And the foundation of what I'm sharing with you is to support you to embrace more of the yin energy. It's not that you want to be all yin because then nothing will get done. It's about a harmony between the yin and the yang. And I tend to use harmony rather than balance because balance for me almost means equal. It doesn't have to necessarily, but that's how I interpret it. Harmony is a more flowing energy because there are times when you move more into the yang. You need to be more in the yang. There's times when you need to be more in the yin. And it's the same in business, and yet business has traditionally been yang, yang, yang. But the next few weeks, I am going to be spending more time focused on the yin aspect of business. And the reason for this is my word of the year, 2022 for me, is the year of receiving. Receiving is a yin energy. And I've spent my time, the last 3 weeks that I've had away from my business, exploring how to move into a more receptive state. Now, you may remember that I was tracking along this at the end of last year. And in fact, in episode 54, I talked about the number one block to receiving. I'd had a lot of insight about the energy of silver and the receptive energy of silver. And so over my break, I sat with this energy. When I walked on the beach, I just allowed it to flow through me. What is receiving? How can I understand more about receiving, about going into this yin space? And how can I transfer that wisdom, that understanding into my business and then show others and teach others and share with others how this is done? So this is my journey at the moment. So when I say about the year of receiving, it is about me receiving more in every part of my life, but it's also about how I can share with you the alchemy of receiving. And I've created some little routines in my day to support me to move more into a receptive state. And one of these is a mantra. I'm not sure if I shared this with you towards the end of last year, but I came up with a mantra. I receive everything I require to live my soul's mission. And I have started every day with this mantra, as well as a couple of other little things, some little exercises. And I'm also have a little routine I'm doing at the end of the day. Also, when I'm on the beach, when I have had an opportunity to lie on the sand after I've had a swim, I've been doing a very powerful receptive meditation. And so I'm gathering all these beautiful little tools. And I've got to say, last week I received so much and it was last week where I really started to put this into practice. And I could not believe my week. Actually, even if we want to focus on the money side, it was probably close to being one of my biggest weeks financially in business. This is what I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm going to be sharing more of this year. I haven't even created a course. I've created the title of and it's not a course. Let me start again. I've created an experience called the Alchemy of Receiving, which is a 4-week experience that I'll be holding in February. And this is to start sharing with you some of the insights that I've had and some of the practices I'm putting into place. And it's about activating the receiving aspect in each of the chakras. So I'm really excited. I'll share more about that next week, but there will be a lot. I will be sharing a lot with you about receiving, and this will probably bring us up to the equinox retreat that I run at the March equinox. And my focus for the equinox retreat is about the harmony between the yin and the yang in business. So I feel like I will spend these next couple of months between now and the equinox sharing more and more with you as it comes through me about the yin aspect of business and about receiving in particular. And so then when we come to that retreat, we'll be ready. We'll be really ready to embody this balance between the yin and the yang in business and in life. And it's this that is going to help you ground and bring through the energy of your intention. Now, to finish up, I've got a little, it's sort of a playful thing that I want to try this year. Apologies in advance, because you can only participate in this if you listen on Apple Podcasts, where you have an opportunity to leave a review. But if you enjoy my podcasts and you are getting something out of them, I would love it if you would give me a review on Apple and share, what you enjoy, what it is, maybe a particular episode, whatever you would like to do. If you could share the gifts that the Biz Alchemy podcast gives you, and then ask a question that you would like me to answer. It can be specific, it can be general. Specific is sort of better because it will direct my energy a little more. If you ask that question, I'm going to do a podcast episode in February, and I'm going to answer the questions that have been asked. So it's like getting a little mini reading. So if this is like, oh yeah, feels a bit exciting for you, and you do listen to this podcast on Apple, come and play, and I will gratefully receive your review, and then you can receive a little reading from me. So I'm just going to try this out and see how it works, but I thought it would be fun. I think also it will make a really interesting podcast episode, because we always learn so much from hearing other people's readings, as though those of you who've ever come to my retreats or are a part of Biz Alchemy Playground will appreciate that actually if you end up listening to someone else's reading, it's because there's something in that for you as well. So let's try this out. It may work, it may not, but I'm going to give it a go and just see what happens. So thank you in advance if you feel excited to leave a review. I appreciate it. So take some time over the next week to put the beach philosophy in action, to implement it for your year ahead. And I look forward to seeing you next time for a little deep dive into this receiving energy. Until then, have an alchemical week in your biz. Thanks for listening to Biz Alchemy. I'm Jacquelyn Atkins. If you'd love to know more about the energy of business, subscribe to my newsletter at jacquelynatkins.com/newsletter. And join me on Insight Timer, where I have a large meditation library and do regular live classes. Until next time, enjoy creating alchemy in your biz.